Okay, so this is the Passat. Customer is going to bring me the keys. It is customer key. As you can see, it broke down here and the blade is separate. So the process would be I use a 4-button KD Max with the same configurations. I will clone the chip that is here. It's an ID48. We will need to collect data from the ignition switch. I would need to have 3 hands to be able to perform that, so I'm not going to use the camera. And I will cut the blade as of now. Test it in the door, make sure it turns. Once it turns, I will pin it to the KD Max, the KD blades. Okay. So this is my small European car key case. This is one of them. You can see, beautiful remote. Helps a lot of people. And we'll go ahead and get this ready. Actually, this is not the right one. This instead is a ZB. The ZB is compatible with MQB, but I do have the KD Max remote that I need. I always keep some of them with me. This doesn't have a chip. The ZB already has a chip. And this opens up by separating each portion away from one another. You cannot do this on this. You just open the side and get to the board. Okay, so let's go ahead and insert a VVDI super chip here. Put some glue in there so it stays in place. I am going to generate a remote for this vehicle, which should be NBG 010180T. And then I'm going to cut a key. I do have X-Horse key blades here, and I'm going to cut one of them and make sure it turns. And after it turns, that's not HU66, that's HU92, but I do have HU66 because I use those a lot. That's HU92 too. Anyway, I'll find it. Those are HU66. There you go. So I'm just going to cut this, turn the door, turn the ignition, make sure it works, and then pin it to the remote, and then pin it to the flip key, and then operate, make sure it works 100%. Then after that, I'm going to learn the remote to the car. Or I can learn the remote and finish with this, whatever works. Okay, now I'm cutting the key. Coming back when the key cut's complete. Newly cut key. Ooh. Steering is low. As you can see, ignition is turned. I used my plier. Ignition is on. Here we say no key because the chip is not detected. I'll just pin that key blade to the flip key and then come back to the car so I can clone the chip. Some data acquisition will be required, and then I'll learn the remote. I'm going to use KM100 to complete this remote learning procedure. Okay, we're gonna collect some data. In order to do that, I need to hit the Q2 Max right here and then use this key. So I'm going to insert this and then put it like this and switch the ignition 8 times. So I need my hands to do that. Q2 Max, it is going to verify the original key. Now it's going to go on the server, calculate, fetch the data, and now we are going to input the super chip. This is the key blade that we made for the customer. I'm going to flip this right here and put this in. Then it's going to write on the chip. Oh, original key. Dang. Okay. Now, super chip. Now the process is complete. So at this time, this key should be able to start the ignition like the old one. Just go ahead and remove the broken blade. And insert our new one. Okay, vehicle is running. Now we are going to learn the remote. So at this point, I can just snap this back. Now we are going to learn this. That's why I have KM100. VVDI is gone. I'm going to turn it off to save some battery. Man, I left my roll pins. It was a headache. I had to remove a roll pin from another key, and then when it was time to press it in, I dropped it. I ended up finding a small piece of metal in my car, and that fit in the key. So I put that right there. Let me just, or actually I'm going to switch ignition on. Okay. And then we are going to use KM100. Oh, I did not plug the VCI yet. Okay, now the VCI is connected. Now I'm gonna grab my KM100 and I am going to Volkswagen. and then I'm going to do automatic selection. I'm gonna need the VIN, so I'm going to make sure that I get connected to my hotspot. No, this is not here. Oh, okay. So I am connected to the iPhone that is in my minivan. So I'm going to come back to automatic selection and then read the VIN. Okay. Okay. All right, that's a 2010 plus Passat. Control unit, remote system. Now we are going to add remote control. We're not going to do remote control learning. Adding remote control will not disable the existing remote control. So I'm going to click on that. At this point, I'm going to close the door. Press on unlock button. Click on OK. And then press any button on the key. I'm going to learn. Enter the number of remote to be learned. I'm not sure if I pressed the right option. I'm gonna go back out there. Add remote control learning. Okay, that's fine. So I press the unlock. Again, just wanted to make sure. And then I'm going to say one to be added. Okay. Then I'm going to press any button on this remote. Okay, so that did not work, meaning I generated the wrong file. I'm going to have to generate again. So I'm going to stop this and generate it. So try again. Add. One. Oh, actually it picked up. So we are going to remove the key. And now test the remote. Okay, so this completes this procedure. Now I'm going to put this back in here. Oh.